is Mary. I'm a High Life Auto. I am getting ready to do a video test drive on a 2017 Chevy Traverse, and it is pouring down rain, and it is beautiful outside. And it was sunshiny this morning, and it was a beautiful day, and I don't know where in the world this came from, and I don't know where in the world this desire in the rain to play in the rain came from, but it is beautiful, and it's fun. So I am driving this car in the rain. If you've never been on my video test drives, the way it works is I drive the vehicle on video, and I tell you what I see, hear, think, smell, and feel to give you the best indication of being in the driver's seat without actually being in the driver's seat. I'm not a mechanic. This is not meant to be a 182-point section. Rather, it's meant to be a sneak peek into how the vehicle drives and any potential issues I notice as we're going along. So we'll take a look around the vehicle, we'll take a look under the hood, and then we're going to get in the car and we're going to drive it, and we're going to find out how it actually drives. And then we're going to find a rainbow because it stopped raining, and that means there's got to be a rainbow somewhere. All right, here we go. All right, 2017 Chevy Traverse. This is not the prettiest car. It's not the best car. I can tell you that right up off the front. I haven't even driven it yet, but I know that just from what the auction told me, just from looking at the other side. So if you're looking for perfect, if you're looking for ready to go, this one's not it. So this side, though, looks pretty good. No major rust, dents, stings, anything like that. Tires are 40%-ish in the rear. 35%-ish in the front. Otherwise, it's pretty decent looking. It's cloth interior. It has been driven. It's got 240,000 miles, so it's a 9-year-old car. So it has been a commuter car of some sort. Like, it's been a traveler car. You can see it's got duct tape here. It's got a bungee cord there. It's got stuff here and there. It does have potential. It's a newer car, which sometimes newer is cool. This is, I think it's part of the bumper, because you'll see when we get up there. I'll probably put it in the back. Oh, it's the you'll see what it is. It does have third row if you need third row. But I mean, it could use a cleaning. Like, it looks like it's been maybe vacuumed, but it could use shampooed probably. I kind of parked this other car kind of close, but it's pretty decent looking in the back. And then let's see, we'll open the back and just missed this car. So you got a little bit of storage room back here, and we'll sneak over here and shut this. And then you got over here, you got duct tape on the bumper, and I don't know what's under that duct tape, but you can see right there's a little dent. So something, I'm sure they got hit in the back end somehow. They also got hit in the front end. So I'm assuming that there was at least a 3-car collision. It was hit in the front, hit in the back, probably tapped in the back more likely from the looks of it. But so that's duct taped on there. It is duct taped classily, so it's holding pretty decently. There's a little crack right here from that, just some little scratches and stuff there, but not overly the end of the world. Your bigger repair is probably here, and I don't really know exactly what it would take. You could probably get away with, they've done it with duct tape, but it probably needs a little bit more fastening. You could probably get away with some more duct tape or zip ties up in here. Looks like some of the duct tape has come loose. So we'll probably hear a little bit of rubbing on this tire right here, just because that's come loose. And I'm not gonna fix it before we go on a test drive, but I will try and fix it maybe when it's not raining. Well, it's not raining right now, but you might hear a little bit of rubbing that way, but it's not the end of the world. It is not super pretty, but it's not the end of the world. And so with that, you've got, I think, your fog light missing down there. your fog light missing here. A couple little things, but like I said, I don't know what the history is. I don't know what the accident entailed. Obviously there was something. I just don't know what it was, and all of that. So we'll get under here. I should probably start the car though, because you probably don't care what the engine looks like. All right, here is the engine. It's a 2017. I'm sure it's a 3.6. And for those of you who are, you know about the normal Traverse problems. I was looking this up the other day. I was wondering if Traverse had ever, fixed their problem. It does have a louder exhaust, so you'll hear that. But other than the exhaust, the motor looks like it's running pretty decent. But as far as the normal 3.6 problems, I've been told that Traverse fixed those in 2016, I believe. So I don't know that 100% certain. Certainly do your research, but so that's kind of good, because that's one problem you don't have to worry about with Traverse. Okay, so windshield wipers work. That's usually one of the last things I test, but we're testing it first today because we have rain. Okay, so there's that. Obviously it has loud exhaust. We have a check engine light. We should have miles up there somewhere. You can't really see it. It's kind of, I wonder if my headlights are on. Let's see. They're on auto. Let's see. What if I turn them on? What if I turn, okay, let's see if I turn this up. Automatic light control on. What if I turn automatic light control off? Dim. Okay, I think that's about the brightest it gets, which is not very bright. So I'm gonna see if I can get you closer. There's 484,000 miles. And it does not flash like that. That's just the way that the computer reacts to the camera. I don't know why it happens that way. It just does. And it happens on all the cars, and I don't know why. So we'll turn on the radio. We'll check, make sure the radio works. Radio does work. Turn that down. We're gonna check the air conditioning. Wait, no, we gotta turn it to air and this. Let's see, that and this. I'm gonna have it on the right setting. That button. Okay, so either I don't have it on the right setting, or the air refrigerant is low. I know that flashes when the air conditioner won't set, but I also know that it won't go in if it's not in the right setting. But I think my guess is the refrigerant is low. Because I'm on cold, and wait there. Okay, that's on there. Okay, that's on there. Now here. Okay, so all those things are on with the right thing, and that's flashing. So I'm guessing the refrigerant is low. And I don't know. What I don't know is if there was damage to any of the lines or anything like that. So I don't know if it's low because of leakage, or if it's just low because refrigerant goes low after a while. But the air it blows okay. It's not ice cold at all, but it's not blowing out hot. So take that for what you will. Plan on a charge, but I mean, it might need some more repair work. Obviously this car is going to need some repair work. We know that just because you can look at it and be smart. Okay, I'm gonna check the heat because I don't know why we're not going to need heat for a while, but we're going to check it anyways and just make sure that it works. Okay. And we do have heat, so we're going to turn all of that off. And I don't know if the screen turned off. Did I do something? Is there a secret to this? Oh, I bet it's this. Oh, this light dimmer over here. It controls everything. So, it controls the radio. It controls everything. So, if you want to see anything, you got to have that on. Alright, well, you've got to have that on, like the brightest setting. Okay, so anyways, there's that. I'm going to turn that way down so we can hear the car, because I know that there's a couple things we need to be listening for. But we do it windows. Driver's side window works. Passenger side window. We'll check in the passenger window in just a minute. Rear driver's side window works. Rear passenger side window works. And the passenger side window does work, just not from my switch. Don't ask me why. It just doesn't work. So I don't know if it's a bad switch or it's probably a bad switch. Okay, so seatbelt. Okay, the auction said there's an exhaust noise. We know that. You can hear now that the exhaust has drastically quieted down. I'm sure that it will get louder as we accelerate, because when we're forcing air through the exhaust, it will get louder. We'll check that as we go. The auction also said that there's a wheel bearing noise, and there's a little bit of a shudder at highway speeds. And so we'll kind of pay attention to those things to try and determine which wheel bearing and the shudder and all of that stuff. So there's our exhaust. And the exhaust noise and the wheel bearing noise might kind of run into each other. So we're going to do our best to determine what is what. There's our exhaust noise. And I did not look underneath it. I should look underneath it and get a better picture. So I will put in the description if I see anything. Definitely when I started it up, it sounded like the exhaust noise was up in the like the back of the engine, like the exhaust manifold type area. And so I've not looked underneath it to see if it's anywhere else. But definitely an exhaust noise. Check these. The auction is talking about when they mention a shudder. It's kind of just like a little flutter. You just see the RPM gauge kind of, you can probably hear it in the exhaust actually. The RPM gauge just kind of flutters a little bit. It seems to be driving okay as far as power goes, as far as everything else. There's the wheel bearing noise right there, and I don't hear any other suspension noise. Let's see if I can determine that wheel bearing noise. But the brakes are good and solid. There's no grinding or vibration, and it's stopping just fine. Couple things out while we go. Cruise is on and set. think the wheel bearing gets louder when I go towards the driver's side, which means that I'm putting pressure on the front driver's side, which means I think it's the front driver's side wheel bearing that's damaged. I could be completely wrong, but that's just kind of my guess based on what I've learned, and based on listening, and sometimes it's not even, I don't even hear it right, but I'm guessing it's the front driver's side. But so it's not a perfect vehicle. I'm gonna finish a couple more things. So that's my left turn signal, my right turn signal. We did our windshield wipers and our cruise. And so you've got the wheel bearing, but otherwise the suspension seems fine. I'm going to read these codes real quick, and I think the auction said it was something about just a knock sensor circuit, but I'm going to knock sensor circuit low, so there's some sensor that's low and an evap system high purge flow. That's a exhaust code, because obviously the exhaust is loud. So that one's a given, but the other one's a sensor code of some sort. So really the check engine light is a sensor that, I mean, you can look it up and see what it means, but really your repairs are more along the lines of body, if you want body work done, and air conditioning, probably, because we live in the Midwest and the Midwest sucks. And a wheel bearing, that's pretty important. And exhaust, because that's pretty loud. But otherwise, and probably that shudder, but look that up, because that might be related to any of the other things. I know it's higher mileage, but really 240,000 miles is not horrible, and especially if it's been a commuter vehicle and it's been, you know, for 9 years, 240,000 miles is probably, you know, mostly highway stuff. So it's probably not a whole lot of bad miles. So do your research. Don't buy this car if you need a 100% reliable vehicle right off the bat. Do buy this car if you have a little bit of common sense and a little bit of extra money to throw into it, and you want a cheap car to work on. And you've done your research into what these things could be. So that's it. That's all. If you've got any questions, shoot me a message. My cell phone is 309-267-7200. And what are you? Do you not want me sitting here? You didn't do anything. I don't know. It just beeped at me, but I don't know why. So, I don't know. It beeped at me, but I don't know why it beeped at me. Okay. So I will put anything in the description, any new stuff that I learn. But yeah, just let me know. Shoot me any questions, and I'll see what I can answer for you. Thanks, guys.